Most of you know me. I'm Carl Reynolds, CEO of a company called Open Healthcare UK. I'm going to talk today about one of our products called OPAL. OPAL is a tool that addresses the patient list problem. So I'll tell you about the problem and I'll tell you what we've made and how it solves the problem. So the problem is that we have to, as busy healthcare professionals in hospitals, keep track of who we're looking after. And normally we do this with a patient list. I've worked on lots of wards at different hospitals, and it's pretty much universal that you'll have a list, typically in a Word document, a table, which will have all of the patients that you're looking after, where they are in the hospital, what's wrong with them, and what the plan of care is, and then how much progress has been made against the plan of care. So it's kind of keeping track of the process of looking after the patient. Now the lists kind of vary team by team because different medical teams have different needs, and it's a real challenge to keep the list up to date. It's a real challenge to keep track of what's going on because it's locked up in this table in a Word document. You can't really have concurrent access. You can't have a real-time tracking of what's going on. So there's an efficiency cost of having it locked up in this technology. It's a real pain in the arse as a clinician. There are also accountability and safety issues in that you can't see who's edited the document. Sometimes there are inaccuracies that are quite important, like perhaps the antibiotics have been changed after discussion with microbiology and it's not been updated yet. So when somebody then presents that patient on the ward round using the list, they may well tell the consultant or another member of the team that the patient's on an antibiotic that they're no longer on, or it's troublesome for delivering safe care. Additionally, you don't have any of the other advantages that you have from things being digital. So you can't really access the data. There's not a liquidity of data for doing research. There's not an opportunity to quickly audit what's been going on and see how you're doing compared to best practice. So I'm kind of a bit geeky, so from day one, which was for me 4 or 5 years ago now, I was faced with this and I thought this is really suboptimal. How can I make it better? And sort of struggled away. Other people have come up with this as a problem. It's totally not only me that recognises this as an issue, and it's been a feature at the Hack Days. People have said patient list problem. A handful of other companies have worked on addressing the problem. But the problem hasn't gone away. It's still the case that most places there's a list in a Word document, and this is a shame. So after some time, we actually found some people that would like the problem to be solved, enough to invest in paying us to solve it with them, and we've done this in a way that's a bit unusual for NHS IT procurement and working. We use, for our technology sort of approach, all of our stuff's open sourced. We have quite a radical open governance of our projects where each product has a GitHub, and the roadmap and bug reporting and issue tracking is all completely out in the open. And we've developed this in an agile way with the clinicians. We've had weekly sprints with 2 registrars at the hospital that we're working at, where we work through whatever the bugs are, whatever the must-have features are, and we iterated. And we stressed this to the customer from the outset that we would be working this way, and they were keen on it, and it's worked really very well for us, and the product has quite rapidly evolved to meet their specific needs. So I think the major advantage of this approach when trying to write software for a complex domain like health is that it's much easier to change the software to conform to reality than it is the other way around. So, software's supposed to map to real-world business processes, and it can't really do that if you have a one-size-fits-all when the business processes are quite intricate and complex, and they vary from team to team as they do, and ward to ward in the healthcare settings. So just, I suppose, to explain that a little bit more, I mentioned different teams have different needs. So, for example, the infectious diseases team is very interested in what countries people have been to, because that massively constrains the diagnostic possibilities for what their main problem is. The cystic fibrosis team is interested in what bugs the patients have grown in their sputum, because that has implications for which antibiotics to use and and how quickly you get on top of the infection has implications for how long the patients live. So the lists are optimized for the particular teams, and by working closely with the clinical team and having this iterative approach and agile sprints, we're able to rapidly and quickly evolve a product that meets their specific needs. So most of the focus with the clinicians has been around having a product that allows them to do their job more effectively. So it's kind of the efficiency aspect of it, process efficiency, has been a major focus. But the other shortcomings of not having a digital list that I mentioned earlier around not having research support capability, accountability and safety are also sort of coming out as things that we've been able to help them with. So we have, I should say, this is a product website which is opal.openhealthcare.org.uk, and we have a demo video and a live demo that you can check out. But these four main things of research, efficiency, accountability, and safety gains, I'll tell you a little bit about them in the context of this particular product development. So it's saving them time in a measurable way, and they like using it, which is the major boon to the jobbing clinician. It's an academic department, and they're really interested in what's going on. They're really interested in the ability to pull out quite quickly the diagnostic details of their caseload. So how many patients have had malaria, what did we treat them with initially, some of the demographic stuff, to rapidly get that for these guys being at a centre that sees more malaria than many other places internationally, is a research boon for them. It enables, they carry out research activity, and they're able to more easily utilise this routinely collected data in a solid process for research. Accountability-wise, we have it so that you log into the list, so you can actually have, again, it's just an advantage of a digital document that you can do this, but you can have version control and you can have proper audit, so you can see if there is an inaccuracy introduced into the list, you can see who introduced that, and you can completely close the feedback loop with that person. Safety benefits. We actually have used quite a lot of pre-populated list stuff. So again, that helps with accuracy for having the stuff to do research on. But it also reduces the risk of typos and transcription error. Having the list available so that you can have concurrent access to it, you can see, it becomes a communication tool as well, and that promotes safety. So I've told you a bit about the problem that I've experienced and that didn't go away, and that now seems to be going away for some group of people. But it's as I say, it's something that's totally out there. So why us? Why do I think that we're the guys to solve this, and why has our approach succeeded with this particular customer? I think the key thing has been the development developmental approach of the agile sprints, but this is not. It's not at all trivial to deliver this. It requires clinical and a deep technical expertise. We've been able to do that, and we've been able to deliver that in a timely fashion on budget, and the customer witnessing and being part of a rapid development of a solid quality product, I think is a commercially sellable thing. They seem delighted with the working relationship, and we have contractual arrangements for further customization, support and development. So if you're interested in adapting OPAL for your local hospital, department, ward, we've got in the pipeline some other modules. We've designed it from the outset as a framework that we can customize for different places, and we've designed it from the outset with an eye to integration with existing systems. Then come and chat with us. We're happy to speak with you. Take any